Well, heading into this recent run of games, our form hadn't been the best. We won 1 and drew 3 out of our last 10. We lost to some very good teams. We lost to some very bad teams. But we got ourselves right with an offensive performance against a really good BFB team that we really needed because, man, did our defense suck. My name's FM Jellicoe, and this is the Red Devils Rising. Against BVB, we beat them 6-5, and we needed a goal from Florian Held in the 79th minute and a goal from Kaisersalutern in the 84th minute to give us the victory, because holy cow, this was a very back-and-forth game. They had 34 shots, 18 on target. We had 14 and 11. Tier Decker, 8.8 rating, player of the match. He's had 6 this season already, I want to say. It's up there. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But holy cow. Gittins went out. He injured his leg. No, upper body. Was this the rib injury? No, it was something else. He's turning into an injury machine. It's a little bit unfortunate because it says he doesn't enjoy big matches and he's fairly susceptible. And in looking at his injury history, yeah, it was a little bit here, a little bit there, but nothing like, hey, 3 weeks here, 4 weeks there sort of thing. The previous high was a twisted ankle, and that happens. You know, he dislocated his shoulder way back in 2020. I took a risk on him. It may not have paid off. We'll find out. So, but yeah, this was a game where, holy cow, we completely shattered our XG expectations. BVB still exceeded theirs. Their XG was 4. They got 5. It was an interesting game to watch. Decker was an absolute man amongst boys in between the sticks. And frankly, if he keeps up performances like this, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to hold on to him. Against Barcelona, we turned in a quality performance. It doesn't look like it from the stats because we only had 4 shots, 1 on target. They had 24 and 8. Decker, again, an 8.0. The defense did just enough because our offense certainly wasn't. It got to the point where I put the team on the defense. We sat back, and they really closed everything down. Phil Foden had a good game with 12 key passes, but the fact that we held them scoreless counts for quite a bit. It helped us out in our group stage. As you can see, we played a really nice, compact formation. I dropped the team back a little bit more. Usually the midfielders are above the midfield line. They played this 4-3-3 that didn't really help them. They had some players have some good games, but they didn't score. And I'm quite happy with that result. Against Bayer, who fired their coach the day before we played them. We beat them 3-1 thanks to a brace of goals by Dustin Bloom and a goal by Luis Felipe. Waldschmidt missed a penalty kick. That really helped us out. We had 21 shots, 12 on target to their 16 and 5. They're a team that are in flux. They are in danger of being relegated. Again, a lot of players had some really good games. Dustin Bloom really turned it on. Between Gittins and Held being injured this season, Bloom's really starting to make the advanced midfielder on the left position his own. Against Union Berlin, whose coach left to take over Bayer, we beat them 4-0 thanks to goals by Felipe. Dustin Bloom, again, a brace of goals. Ojeda, a goal. He came on in relief, I want to say. Yeah, he came on in relief at the half because Sutherland and Schmidt were just not having good games. They were absolutely horrible. But I'm going to keep playing them because it's the only way they're going to learn. We had 8 shots, 5 on target. They're 12 and 5. Our defense was much better than theirs, and that's how we won. Standings why? Well, we'll look at this here real quick. So Macaulay Sutherland leads with 9 goals. Burnett, the best rating and most assists. Cheerjacker, 4 players in the match. I could have sworn it was a lot more, but I suspect some of those may be in... No, 2 of those are Champions League. 2 of those are Bundesliga. Okay, well, anytime your keeper has 1 player of the match, you're doing something both wrong and right. But yeah, he's turning in a quality year. I'm waiting to see who's going to come start sniffing at him. We just signed him to a huge contract last year as well. So currently, we are in 5th place on 22 points. Bayern is 10 points ahead of us. We're playing them here shortly. Today, though, it is all about the Champions League as we play PSG. And PSG being PSG, they've spent more money on one player than we've spent in entire transfer budgets, probably. And then we're playing Eintracht Frankfurt, hopefully get some revenge for our Pokal loss. Diallo, Vini Jr., Fabian Rush, Novella, Wilbur Pelletier, Garcia, Caicedo, Alan Ramsdale. Tuchel's the head coach. Kulusevski went out. Dembele went out. Wagu went out. Kuna, Odriola, Zabalga. Either they sold Mbappe and I didn't realize it, which is entirely possible. Yep, they sold him to Real Madrid for $124 million. Wow. Okay. But they have Ritter up top, and you know what? We'll take a look at him real quick. Ritter is a name I do remember because he is a regen. He's a very good regen. 20 years old. They bought him from... no, they didn't. I'm thinking of someone else. He's a product of their youth system, which in itself speaks volumes. They loaned him out. He had great starts at Lens and a great season at Nice. He came back to PSG, and he picked up right where he left off. I mean, look at that. He is absolutely fabulous. They have him here, listed here as a winger, but he's a really good advanced forward. They have him complete forward attack, which, yeah, that makes sense, especially with his off the ball. And even then, the attributes that are low for that are still really, really good. Man, he's just... So this is the squad we're starting today. We got Decker in goal, Wiesner, Bejker, Carrillo, and Thiel as the defensive back four, Lozino and Felipe as the midfielders, Held and Burnett as the attacking midfielders, Sutherland and Schmidt up top as the strikers. Decker's not wanted yet. Brighton and Real Madrid are sniffing around Wiesner. Almeria and Jiangsu are sniffing around Felipe. Wiesner came in for 37 last year. I would like to keep him. I would settle for a Barcelona-like result. If we had no shots and none on target and we came away with a 0-0 draw, I'd be okay with that. I didn't even look at where we were in the standings. Thiel on the throw to Burnett, back out to Felipe, crosses it in. Sutherland's there, but he hits it wide left. We should see the standings here. I might be able to bring those up here. Lozino, back to Wiesner on the throw-in. Bejker to Schmidt, heads it forward to Held. He passes it up for Sutherland. Sutherland got held up by Garcia, though. Ruben to Kimpembe. Out to Vini Jr. He cuts inside. Crosses the field. He's a left midfielder for crying out loud. Caicedo to Rush. To Ritter. Back to Ravella. Feeds Ritter. One-on-one with Decker, and he scores. Got between the defenders, and it was Katie bar the door. Decker would have needed a miracle to stop that, I think, and he didn't get it. Ritter turned around, ran right between the defenders, stayed onside. Carrillo came over, but it was too late. Ramsdale taps it to Garcia on the goal kick. He sends it up to Neves. Over to Rush. Back to Neves. Ravella ends up with it. Gets the ball to Ritter. Back to Rush. Out to Vini Jr. on the left. Cuts inside in the box. Takes the shot. Puts it far post. Jesus. They made that look so easy, too. Good grief. I don't want to see that again. Something happened. Wiesner from outside the box. Curls it in. Nice goal, Fabian. His fourth of the season. Splits to the defenders on the wall and slots it past a diving Ramsdale. The pause of the game here to step the league table. Caicedo to Diallo on the throw-in. Gets it to Rush. Top of the box. Takes the shot. Pushes it wide left. Kimpembe to Vini Jr. on the throw-in. He gets it back to Neves. Back to Kimpembe. Bejker knocks it away. Lozino tries getting it to Held. Diallo comes in, takes the ball. Ritter ends up with it. Gets it to Vini. Out to Caicedo on the right. He holds it up. Crosses it in. ends up back at PSG's feet. Novella to rush. Diallo got between the defenders, hits the post, and it goes in. I don't want to see that either. I can't, and we got so many freaking highlights. I can't change my screens mid-table or mid-game. Ravella back out to Kimpembe. To Ruben. Kimpembe and Ruben are playing back and forth. Kimpembe, back heel pass to Vini. Drops it off to Kimpembe, centers it to Ravella, back to Kimpembe. Just passing the ball, looking for holes. I don't know what the heck Vini Jr. was thinking there. Okay, good grief. Can we do this now? We need Barcelona to beat Zenit, then we need to beat Zenit next week. Or next episode. Lozino to Felipe. Long pass. Gives it away to Garcia. Ravella to Diallo. Weaves in and out. Takes the shot. Hits the side. Felipe on the throw-in. Schmidt ends up with it. He's fouled. Ruben's off. How's Ruben not off? Burnett tucks it away, lower left corner. The score makes it look like we're giving them a game, but we've been lucky. Almost all the highlights have been theirs. Offensively, they're just dominating us. It doesn't look like it from the statistics, but at least in watching the highlights and that, they're just... Thiel on the throwing, gives the ball away. Come on, what are you doing? Ritter to Rush. Out to Vini. Cuts inside, avoids the one defender. Dispossessed. Thiel gets it to Schmidt, but it's headed down. Ends up at Rush's feet. He gets it to Ravella to Navas. Caicedo ends up with it on the right. Back to Rush. Caicedo. Diallo. Right there. Can't do anything with it. Too many bodies in front of him. Garcia to Caicedo. I'm pronouncing it completely wrong. Neves to Ravella. Over to Diallo. Out to Caicedo. To Rush. To Caicedo. To Ravella. Neves. Kimpembe. To Vini Jr. Vini Jr. to Ritter. Vinicius Jr., how was he not offsides? That's how. I'm going to make a couple substitutes here. Sutherland's having a horrible game. We're going to bring on Ojeda for him. Held is having a horrible game. We're going to bring on Bloom for him. I think those scores were more about their defensive efforts than their offensive efforts, to be honest with you. PSG really turned on the second half. You can't really tell it, though, because there have hardly been any second half stats. But they've had 24 shots, 11 on target. St. Maximin sends it in. Felipe knocks it away. Schmidt comes up and gets it. Runs into his own player. Bernat almost loses the handle. Gets it out to Bloom, who's all alone on the left. Holds it up. Takes the shot. Slots it past near post to Ramsdale. That was nice. Nice long pass by Bernat across the field to find a wide open Bloom. Well done. If anything, the goal differentials might come in handy. Depends on what Zenit's goal differential is. Take a look at that here. We lose 4-3. Frankly, I suspect the score could have been 8-3, and it probably should have been closer to that. Man, did we absolutely lay an egg. Take a look at the table here in just a minute. Our goal differential is better. So if we beat them, okay, what are the rules? Results between teams. So if we beat them, it goes to goal difference. And our goal difference right now is better. So we need a victory against Zenit, which I don't see happening. We've got Eintracht Frankfurt coming up here in a couple of days. I got a bunch of players who are tired as well. So isn't that going to be fun? Man. Scoring 3 against PSG is not a bad thing, but they could have scored so much more. It's hard not to be upset by that performance. You would think losing by 1, I'd feel better, but not really. So, anyhow, I'm going to set some things up. We'll be back with the Eintracht Frankfurt game here in just a bit. This run of games is absolutely insane. So we had a game on the 20th, a game on the 20th. You know what? Let me go to the calendar. A game on the 20th, a game on the 23rd, a game on the 27th, a game on the 30th, a game on the 2nd, and then a game on the 7th. So in 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 days, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 games in 18 days. Our only saving grace is that this is an international break here, so we have 2 weeks off. But, man. Well, with players injured, Carrillo took a knock that puts him out for 2 days. I could have done the, hey, let's give the player injections thing, but I've never had good luck with that. I do that, and the player ends up being injured even longer. So we've got a fairly rotated side today. The only thing that's really in our favor is that Eintracht Frankfurt is currently 17th in the league, which doesn't mean much because they beat us in the Pokal last episode. So we got Decker in goal, Jesus, Beschker, Dressel, and Magahalis as the defensive back four, Matty and Swiderski as the midfielders, Held and Kraus as the attacking midfielders, Sutherland and Ojeda up top as the strikers. Take, Decker jumps up and saves that. Supposed to distribute it quickly. Instead, he bombs it down the field towards Ojeda. No one there to help him. Karbaunik drops off Rogerio. Up to Oaks. Centers it to Sal. Dispossessed, but Kraus can't get there. Ryan ends up with the ball. Sal out to Oaks. On the left. Driving forward. Baseline. Bounces it off Magahalis. Gets it to Kraus. To Swiderski. Back out to Magahalis. He pushes forward. Cuts inside as George goes nuts. Sorry. Magahalis still dribbling forward. Tries crossing it in, gets it back, crosses in again, Held is there, and he scores. That was a bit of work by Magahalis. I think he made that look harder than it actually needed to be. Rogerio challenged him. Kraus got it back, and then Held didn't even jump. The ball just, he waited for the ball to hit his head, just kind of did this, and it went in. Samake to Sal. Back to Samake. Corner of the box for Sal. He gives it away. Beschker's there. Sutherland picks it up. Turns around. Gets it up to Ojeda. He feeds Kraus. He's got no one in front of him. He's going to round the keeper. He's going to try, but he's going to bounce it off an Eintracht player. Held ends up with it. Back to Jesus. Top of the box. He can't get around the defender. He's dispossessed by Ryan. Crosses it in, but it was a bad cross. Went right to Kobel, who sends it forward. It's headed over to Oaks. Back out to Samake. No one in front of him. Takes the shot. Decker, an easy stop. Rogerio, Take on the throw-in. He heads it over to Oaks. Ball's given away. Dressel has it. He gets it to Held. Held, left side of the box. Centers it in. Matty's there. Nice goal. His first of the season. Matty was injured for a while, and he's been kind of lost in the shuffle, especially with Felipe and a couple of the other players coming in as well. But he will definitely get more playing time as the season progresses. I've got, at least on paper, Kraus to Matty, who scores again. Wow. On paper, anyways, I've got a rotation set up for games going forward. It doesn't take into account players' health or anything like that, but it's something I can work with, and it's something I actually need to pay attention to more. So, what the heck the keeper was thinking there? Maybe he was just trying to avoid Matty's ball, because he absolutely hammered that. Swiderski to Matty, up to Ojeda. He tries slotting it through, but it doesn't work. Silva ends up with the ball after the long pass. He cuts left. Drops off to Ryan, who fed it to Sal. It was a nice through pass. But Decker came out and challenged Sal. Sal ended up hitting a weak shot that went out of bounds. Corner kick for Eintracht. Silva comes in and just skies that over the crossbar with his head. And that is halftime. We are 3-0 up thanks to 10 shots, 6 on target, a good possession advantage, and a poor defensive performance by Eintracht Frankfurt. Where was this in the pokal? Jesus on the throw-in to Held. Back to Jesus. Passes up in the space for Sutherland. He tries getting by Karbaunik, but can't. Samake driving forward. Centers it to Silva. Decker came out and challenged him, but Silva just absolutely powered it past him. Something's beeping. I got too many devices over here to figure out what's beeping. Okay. Now Decker dove high. Silva kicked it under him. Sounds about right. Just short of 70 minutes, we are going to make a couple of changes there. We're going to get Held off and bring on Bloom. We're going to get Ojeda off and bring on Schmidt. Jesus on the throw-in. It's lost in the crowd, knocked away. Ushar is running it down. He drives forward. Right side of the box. Takes a weak shot. Decker has no problem stopping that. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Ruggiero ends up with the ball. Ushar again driving forward. Gets by the defender. 1-1 with Decker. And again. Take from outside the box. Knocked away. Schmidt ends up with it. He turns around. Feeds Matty. Matty feeds Bloom. Bloom running forward 1-on-1. Takes the shot. Puts it far post. His 8th goal of the season. A very nice assist by Matty. The game looks really kind of dark, which makes me think we're either playing at night or it's very cloudy or both. It's just weird. Sal's been hurt. He's on the sideline, so we're a man up. Bloom, long pass to Schmidt. Takes the shot, pushes it just wide left. That's a youth at play there. Schmidt, dispossessed by Munoz. However, we get it back. Matty turns around, gets it to Swiderski, who tries passing up into space, but who's my number 2? Is that Magahalis? I'm reasonably sure that's Magahalis. Swiderski steals the ball. Dressel up to Schmidt, who shields Munoz, rushing forward, takes the shot. Eintracht keeper, a very nice save. Karbaunik to Sal. Back to Samaseku. Back to Karbaunik. Sal in the box, headed away. Wow, that was a bit of pinball back and forth there. What happened? They're going to say he's offsides. Decker on the short kick to Dressel. Over to Beshker. Up into space. Sutherland can't get it. Orban ends up with it. Samaseku sends it to Take. Out to Sal. Centers it to Silva. Errant header. Decker comes up and grabs that. On the right. Schmidt to Kraus. Decker's supposed to be distributing it to the playmaker in the center. Oh, Bloom? Schmidt off the post? What happened there? They're calling that an Orban own goal. Okay. Kraus, back to Magahalis. Long pass. Bloom. Munoz bounces it off Schmidt, hits the post. Munoz goes to clear it, somehow hits Orban. It bounces off Orban, goes into the goal. And he wasn't even facing Orban. It's like he kicked the ball 160 degrees behind him. Silva heads that over the crossbar. Decker to Dressel to Swiderski. Karbaunik. Back to Kobel. All the way out to Kone. He gets by Magahalis. Driving forward. Tries feeding Silva, but it's knocked out of bounds. And that is the match. We win 5-1 thanks to a goal by Held, a brace of goals by Joel Matty, 5 minutes apart, a Bloom goal and an Orban own goal. We get a revenge on Eintracht Frankfurt for our loss in the Pokal. And that sets us up for the upcoming Zenit game. Let's see how far away that is. Plus, I got to set my training up for this area in here. Matty was stellar. I need to praise him. 2 weeks. We'll play Zenit and Stuttgart, and we'll go into the winter break. Come back for Cologne, and go from there. And then I don't know that we're going to be busy in the transfer window. There would have to be a player that would come along that's going to significantly upgrade us for now in the future for the right amount of money. And the thing is, we've got a decent amount of transfer budget to work with and a decent amount of payroll budget to work with. We're doing really well there. So I'm not too worried about that. I think right now, especially once the rest of the season starts, it's going to be about getting players the time they need so they improve. In particular, players like Nico Schmidt and that. If teams come in for players like Wiesner and Luis Felipe and that, if they're gonna give me the money that I paid to get them plus a little bit more, okay, we'll think about that. But for now, we're gonna save this here, and then we're gonna come back with our match next episode against Zenit. We need to win if we want to get Europa League. If not, we're out of European football, and frankly, that's fine. I wasn't expecting us to go really far in the Champions League, and that's before I saw our group stage. You know, if we drop down to the Europa League, I think we have a shot at doing well there, but it remains to be seen. That said, a couple of decent games today. I feel the PSG game, we lost 3-4. We should have lost by a lot more, but the fact we held on the 4 is a good thing. I just can't shake this feeling that, yeah, we should have lost by more. I mean, as quality a team as they are. But that's not going to slide any more over because of how the window's set up. So this is going on there. So it's all about the Zenit game. So we're going to come back. We're going to play that. We're going to play Stuttgart. Go into the winter break on a high note. And further European football. I'm trying to stay positive about that. So that said, if you did like what you've seen and heard, please leave a like. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. My name is FM Jellicoe, and I thank you for watching.